Hello side, this is Chi. I am going to walk you through a complete rollout and stretch that I think would benefit you after a long commute. So my hope is that this is about 8 to 12 minutes. Let's see how long it takes. So all you need is a mat and then your foam roller. So it may look a little different than this, but whatever you have, put it in your truck. So you get out of your truck, you're gonna get on your mat, and you told me that one of the first things you like to do is lay on your back and just lay there. So once you're on your back, I want you to hug your knees into your chest and just take some breaths. When you're here, notice your head and your shoulders and relax your shoulders down and keep your neck loose. So if you find that you're lifting up, I want you to really work on keeping everything relaxed and just taking a few breaths and hug your knees into your chest. So stay here as long as it feels good for you. Then when you're ready, I want you to bend your knees and put your feet flat on the floor, and you're gonna do pelvic tilts. So I'm just gonna unzip my jacket here so you can I can demonstrate better. So with the pelvic tilt, you're just going to, so my hands are underneath my back, you're just gonna tuck your tailbone under and imagine your spine pressing into the floor and to your hands, but you don't have to have your hands there. So go ahead and just let your pelvis come to neutral. Exhale. You're gonna draw your belly in and kind of up, and then your tailbone's gonna press flat into the floor and your spine, and then release. You're gonna do that 10 times. So relax your shoulders, your head. The only thing engaged is your belly towards your spine. So we'll do that 4 more times. So tuck your tailbone, hold for 1, 2, release. Again, tuck your tailbone. Good. Let's go 2 more times. So scoop the tailbone. See if you can make your spine or your waist nice and long. And then 1 more time. Tuck your tailbone. And then release. Okay, so assuming your hands are by your side, they can be a little bit wide, but what I want you to do is press your shoulder blades down into the floor and press your palms down and lift your hips up, and you're gonna hold for 20 seconds. So go ahead and lift your hips. Notice your head and shoulders. So you want your head nice and soft. You're looking straight up towards the sky. Let's hold for 10 more seconds. So while you're here, what I want you to work on is keeping that core strong. So draw your navel in, scoop the tailbone, and press up with your hips. All right, slowly release. And then do 10 more pelvic tilts. So scoop your tailbone and release. Tuck your tailbone. So you're engaging your core here. Release. So you're gonna do a total of 10 of these. Release. Notice your breath, your shoulders relaxed. Let's go 4 more times. 3 more. And this is really important to do after your long ride, because the back gets really tight and then the core is weak. So we're just getting the body just to get ready and resetting your body. Okay, 1 more together. Tuck your tailbone. Good. Press into your hands and your heels. Let's go ahead and lift your hips for 20 seconds. So here, we're opening up the front of the hip flexors, but we're also engaging the glutes. So this is really good to do. You've been sitting for a long time, so these front of the muscles get really tight. So we're just gonna press up, press up. The thing is that you don't want the weight to shift too far back into your shoulders, and you don't want to cause any more strain. That's why you're keeping your hands down and pressing to your heels. Good. All right. So that's 2 pelvic tilts and 2 bridges. From here, I want you to bring your right knee into your chest and then bring it over towards your left shoulder. This left leg, you can extend it if you want to, or keep it slightly bent. It's totally up to you. The main thing is that we're stretching the outside of the right hip. So sometimes with the lower back, it's a combination of weakness and tightness, and these outside glutes get really tight from sitting and especially from biking. We're not doing a spinal twist. We're just gonna bring the knee across just slightly. Okay, so I'm assuming we're gonna hold for about 20 seconds. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So bring it in and then across your body slightly. If you don't want to have a timer, I want you to think of 4 long, deep breaths. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in. Just notice the stretch in the outside of your hip. Breathe out. 1 more time. And breathe out. Excellent. Okay, so we're not totally done with laying on our back. And by the way, if you like that stretch, do that one again if that felt good for you. So now we're gonna get your foam roller and we're gonna place it in your upper back. Right about your upper back. And I'm sure you've done this before. What I want you to do is let your elbows kind of fall to the ground, rolling all the way up into your upper back and then back around. You can go as slow as you need to. So if you rather just hold, that is fine too, and then roll up a little bit more. The idea is that your elbows are gonna fall. So you're gonna open up the front of your chest. From here, so do that for about up to a minute, maybe roll it up and down a few times. You're gonna roll onto your side and we're gonna stretch out your lats. So it looks like a side plank setup, and you're gonna put the foam roller underneath your armpit. Okay, so you're kind of laying here, my hip is supporting me, my left elbow is supporting me, and then you're going to slowly roll up and back along your armpit. When you get to the inside of the armpit in the back, you're gonna slightly lean back here. So you're almost pivoting backwards a little bit, and you're gonna go back and forth. You might find, most likely, a really tender spot. Hold it there and then take some deep breaths. Release into it. And again. All right, so let's go to the other side. So you're gonna bring the foam roller under your armpit, supporting yourself. Again, slightly lean back. You're gonna foam roll up and down on the back of your armpit. So this is gonna help with your shoulder mobility and getting the mobility in your shoulder. Obviously there's lots of parts to the shoulder, but the lats get really tight. And so we're just gonna work those out. This is kind of one of the main muscles that's used when you're biking to kind of support yourself. So we're just gonna go forward and back. And then you mentioned you lifting a lot of overhead. So definitely gets a lot of use and probably not a lot of attention. All right, so did you find the tender spot? Let's just take a couple of breaths here. One more breath. Great. Okay, so moving on to our hands and knees, and we're gonna do cat-cow. So you're on your hands. You're gonna create like a box with your knees and your hands. We're gonna do 5 cat-cows. I'm gonna do some variations in case maybe there's something that you haven't done before. So spread out your fingers wide. Let's do 2 that you've done, maybe like a more traditional. So you're gonna look up, and then exhale, pull your belly in. Let's do that same thing. Inhale, really lift the chest. Exhale, pull it in. Then from here, I want you to flip your fingers around. And if your forearms are really tight, you just turn just a little bit, but see how far you can go. And then we'll do another cat-cow. So breathe in, look up. Exhale and round your spine. Whew, tight forearms. Okay, so from here, another type of cat-cow. Again, you can choose one that you like the most. You're going to rotate side to side. So imagine looking towards your left heel and then looking towards your right heel and then to the left and to the right. So those are 5 different kinds of cat-cow. Actually, there are 5 cat-cows, just 3 different variations. So play with those, maybe, use all of them in different ways. So doing 5 cat-cows is great. And then we're gonna hold a forearm plank. So for the forearm plank, I'm just gonna turn my mat a little bit so that I can show you all of it. Your forearms are gonna be at the same level of your shoulders. So one easy way is just wrap your fingers around your forearms, your upper arms, and then unfold them and place your arms parallel to each other. Walk your feet back, and then holding plank. So one straight line from the back of your ears to your shoulders, to your hips, and then squeeze everything. Squeeze your glutes, your quads, your core, shoulders away from your ears. If this is too much, you can drop down to your knees. Just make sure your hips aren't up. You're gonna tuck your tailbone. Again, long lines. Okay, so you're gonna do 20 seconds in plank. From here, we're going to do another stretch for your upper back. So assuming that you can come onto your knees and put weight onto your knees, you're gonna stretch your arms forward and drop your forehead down. So now this is getting that lats and now a little bit of your lower back. Let's take 2 breaths here. And then reach both hands to the left. So you're gonna kind of get an extra stretch on the right. And then both hands to the right and get a little extra stretch on the left side of your body. All right, and then back to center. So this last one, we're gonna do, you can either do plank again for 20 seconds. I'm gonna do a knee drive, and I think this is a really good one, especially if you're going from your car eventually to a bike ride. So you're gonna come into your forearms, same position. If you wanna interlace your hands, that's fine. Just make sure that the elbows don't go too far out wide. So let's say wherever you have your hands, you're gonna drive your knee in towards your chest, and we're gonna do that 10 times. So drive it in, 3, 4, and you're gonna rock a little bit forward and back, 5, 6, don't let your toe touch the mat, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and take a break, and then do the same thing to the right leg. So drive it in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pull it all the way in, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. Okay, so we're gonna do that lat stretch again. Now we're gonna make that lat stretch a little bit different. This is the last stretch. We're gonna go into downward dog. So spread out your fingers. You're kind of in that plank position, but you're gonna tuck the toes under, lift the hips, and look towards your knees. Shake out your head. Get a stretch in the back of the calves. You can even like alternate your feet. And slowly walk your hands, if you like, or if you can, back to your shoes. Let your head, neck hang. And then slowly roll up. And then go on your way to have an awesome bike ride. And that will loosen up your spine, your hips, your back. We didn't do a lot with the chest quite yet, but at least that's a good place. This is a good place to get started and to get you going. Okay. I will also, sorry, Sai, I'm also going to list this out for you if you haven't already seen it on a piece of paper so that you can just take a piece of paper with you and follow along. All right.